Drew, thanks for joining us today, as always, my man. John Elway was on Broncos.com yesterday, and I have a two-part. He praised your resilience, ability to come back. You know, this year has been a little rocky. What does that mean to hear him say that? He specifically said you've been resilient, likes the way you've been able to come back and battle through some of this early adversity.
Yeah, it means a lot, to hear from a guy like that and hear from technically your boss. But, I want to have him, be able to answer questions about how good we were in the first half and how good we were all game, instead of those resilient answers, pushes through the tough stuff at the end. It's time for us to go out and play well for 4 quarters and, get this thing rolling.
And last thing, follow up on that. I know you had said, I think it was the Chiefs week, you have a relationship with John. You're able to talk to him after games. How has that been since he's had COVID? I know he's back now. Were you able to continue talking with him during this time, or did you have to put that on pause until he was able to come back?
Yeah, the talking in person was definitely on pause. A couple text, phone calls here and there, but right as he was able to come back in the building, we got to talk and catch up on the weeks that he was out.
Next one, Jeff.
Drew, I'm just curious, after looking at some of the snaps and everything, you're more efficient this year under center, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, we practice a lot. That's one of the things that we focus on during the week, and quite honestly, it's one of those things where you've been in the gun your whole life. You can draw back from the gun. It's necessarily, you got to work on things you haven't done a lot in your life. So some of the throws that I'm making in these games are the first time I've completed these throws, because it's all under center. I didn't do any of that in college. It's the first time really getting some of the looks of plays from under center. It's stuff that I need to keep getting better at and keep practicing and keep getting familiar with. The footwork and stuff from under center has been good. I feel like I've picked it up faster than I expected. It's just really being able to see everything underneath there. It's just a whole different look at the game compared to being in the gun.
Next one.
Hey, Drew, the Saints defense rolling into this game, a lot of great statistics. What do they do to contain the run game and also get 8 sacks?
Yeah, those guys up front just play really, really hard. It's different when you got guys that are extremely talented and can get away with talent. But when you have a team that has the guys that are extremely talented and bust their butt day in and day out, and you can see how hard they're working on film in games, that's what the Saints defense is. You go down the lineup, you can name every single one of their players, and they all play like it's their first year in the league, flying around, hitting, making the big plays, and just looking pretty fresh out there when they're playing. They're flying around.
Next one, Mike.
Yeah, Drew, I'm not sure you were able to appreciate it when you were handing it off and carrying out your fake, but watching the film, what was your thoughts on watching Reisner and Bowles pull and truck there out by the right side?
Oh, yeah. That was, I try to sneak a few peeks in here and there without getting yelled at too much from Coach Shula for not carrying out my fakes. But those guys were fun to watch on the film, man. Play after play, those guys are giving it their all. They're in such good condition right now and really hitting a stride. This will be a big test for all of us, including up front, to see where we're at. See if we can come and pound the ball again, and if we can block really well in the pass game. It'll be a testament to them for bringing back-to-back games like they just did, and keep them rolling.
Next one into me.
Drew, this year at Thanksgiving, simply put, what are you thankful for?
Am I thankful for? Wow. Well, for one, I've always been thankful for my family and my friends. Got me through a lot. Wouldn't be here without them. That's the cliche, but, they really do mean the world to me. I think one thing I'm really thankful for right now is, a lot of people don't get to go to their job every day. A lot of people are unemployed. A lot of people's places are shut down. Some of them aren't even, full capacity like my dad's. And quite honestly, we get to come out here today, and sure, we, complain about having the visor cover on our mouth in practice, but we get to come out and do what we love every single day and play the game of football during it. time like this in life, I'd safe to say it's something to be thankful for.
Next one goes my.
Yeah, Drew, a little off the beaten path here, but the guy playing across from you at quarterback this week was an accomplished multi-sport star in high school. Seems everywhere you look in the league, Mo Alley Cox, Kyler Murray, guys that played different sports at an elite level. You yourself, and I'm just curious, as you look back on it now, what were the biggest virtues, biggest benefits of being so involved in basketball in addition to your football career? And then I have a short follow-up.
Yeah, well, you got to be able to see the court in basketball. I'd be lying to you if I didn't say I threw the basketball one-handed a couple of times to make some full court passes. That always comes in handy. But I think it just the game of basketball teaches you toughness. You know, if you're just a quarterback, you know, you're getting hit here and there, and quite honestly, you're not talking trash. No one's really talking that much trash to you. But when it gets to basketball, it gets pretty personal pretty fast. You got to learn how to, you know, take it to the hole, get beat up, talk to them when you come down, put somebody through the hoop. It kind of got me the grittiness and a little bit of swag that you need to kind of perform in this sport at such a high level. It just taught me to kind of be myself.
That was my follow-up, is that we talked to Frank Haith this week. He said one of the times he was recruiting you, saw you get your head split open, I think going for a layup or something.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know if there was a concussion protocol, but that sucker got right back in there. So that's sort of you attribute a lot of kind of the toughness, some of the stuff you've gone through this year to that sport first. Well,
without a doubt. That was the first sport to really teach me toughness. I mean, my dad can make me do plenty of Oklahoma drills when we were doing practice back in the day. It got me tough, but, you know, the sprints, and it really just comes down to you're one-on-one with another man, and he's either going to take the ball from you or you're going to put it in the hoop. And if he takes it from you, he gets to talk to you, and if you put it through the hoop, you get to talk to him. That was kind of the fun part, dealing with crowds, just being able to be yourself up there. And, you know, people end up not liking you because of it. You know, you might look arrogant, you might look cocky, but that's part of the game. That's part of the game that I kind of miss of basketball. I miss being able to talk, get in with the crowds and stuff. That was always fun, but it definitely teaches you to get a little nasty.
Guys, time for a few more. Next one, Zach.
Hey, Drew, in what area do you feel like you improved the most on Sunday?
You know, for me, I feel like it was probably just taking what they gave me besides that first pick. Our biggest thing was, you know, staying on the field as long as we can. Obviously, the run game did a tremendous job in doing that, but being able to bounce back from adversity was another thing that we've been doing that well pretty much all year in those end games, but I feel like we did it early in this game, and that had a lot to do with us staying on the field and me taking what they gave us. I feel like that was a big improvement from weeks before.
Next one, Brandon Christoph.
Drew, I got two for you. One, Pat's been up in the booth now for, I guess, the last 4 games or so since the Patriots game. How has that helped or changed your communication? And then have you talked with Peyton at all? We saw where he got nominated for or semifinals for the Hall of Fame. Of course, we think he's going first ballot. That goes without saying. But have you talked to him much during the year?
Yeah, me and him talk here and there. Definitely text after games. Had a call with him earlier in the year when I was hurt. Just, again, another pointer call on, you know, what to do while you're hurt. Watch the extra film. Here's some drills. Just kind of keeping me on my feet kind of deal. But as far as Pat being up in the box, I think I said it earlier in the year, I feel like any offensive coordinator that gets to be on the box and kind of control us like a video game from a bird's eye view, I feel like it's easier to see up there. And I think what makes him comfortable with being up there is that him and Coach Shula have been with each other for so long and pretty much know each other and what each other is thinking, to where he feels like he has, you know, a second him down there to be able to relay what they could be thinking without actually having to communicate it to each other, which I feel like would make any OC comfortable being up there.
Final two.
Yeah, Drew, you and Jerry had some near misses on Sunday. Just wondering how you feel your chemistry with him is on the field, and how close you feel to turning more of those targets into catches.
Yeah, you know, it's a week by week thing. You know, one week we're molded together on how good and chemistry we have, and then the next week you miss 2 or 3 and it's you guys are falling apart. That's just, it is what it is. But we work hard in practice. We come to practice every day. We get the extra throws when we miss them. It's just about hitting them in the game. It really has nothing to do with, us not being in sync or chemistry or whatnot. It just has everything to do with, me putting the ball where it needs to be.
Final one, George.
Yeah, Drew, I got a couple for you. You mentioned earlier the offensive line. How do you think they're gelling right now? And secondly, following up on Nick's questions, Noah Fant was a pretty good basketball player in high school too. Do you think you could take him one-on-one?
Well, first off, I'll get to the Noah question later. But the offensive line, that room's always been extremely tight. I know they're missing doing offensive lineman dinners and whatnot this year because of COVID, but always been really tight. And I mentioned earlier in a couple weeks, them having to have guys flip out, back in, and back out, then back in. That's tough on a unit, especially when you all got to rely on being together on the same page. And those guys to have a new tackle in or a different guard in when Graham got COVID, and for them to be playing the way that they do, it's been fun to watch. I'm happy to be, in the pocket that they're making for me. So they've been playing awesome as far as being able to develop chemistry with new groups. And as far as the Noah thing goes, I got to think that I'd put the ball in the hole more than he would. He might bully me a little bit. He might get a few rebounds on me. But I'd have to. I'll put it on me. I'll say that I would win that one, but he'll probably tell you the other way around.